So, like, I think it's interesting because when I first met you, if anything can be said about Natalie Friedman, is work ethic. Like, when I met you, you were at maybe 5K.
Wow.
5K on IG. And
You're like 5K in the bank. No.
No, you're like 5K followers on IG. You, me, Jahan were shooting, and you were so focused on just the idea. We're like, yeah, okay, cool. Do me a favor, can you get a shot of this? And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, just shoot it one more time from over here. I'm like, all right. And then I remember after every dude was like flirting with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, yeah, but can we shoot? And I'm like, man, this is a focus. So where did the work ethic come from? Like, you getting into this, did you always see, this is what I want, this is where I'm going to be?
First of all, I'm so flattered that you noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, I think the same about you. And I've been like that since I was a kid. Always, like in high school, you know, I was going out and partying and things like that, but I was always the one staying in and like, how can I was just like Google when I was 12, how can I get on SNL one day? I'm very like self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I was always the girl going to the library and getting books about stuff. I'm always Googling things.
Smart.
So I guess always. But yeah, it's a work in progress.
So much
Anything
work.
that's great takes a lot of time.
It does.
So as you know, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be an entertainer and do this for life, it takes time. It's not over yet for either of us.
No.
It's just the beginning.
Which is crazy.
So it's a marathon and
not a race.
Yeah.
I think so many people think that it's a race for them. Like, I got to get to this right now. And it's like, you're not cultivating your skill or your talent by just trying to rush to get it.
Right.
And so tell me this. You do so many different people, whether you're impersonating, you do a sketch or a spoof. What is your favorite impersonation?
That's a tough one. I get asked that a lot and it changes a lot. The best feeling is when I really embody them and I feel like I'm them, and then I watch it back and I don't feel like I'm watching myself.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously I won't ever look exactly like Cardi B. I'm a white girl. I won't ever look exactly like Nicki, but the street cred from both of them and Nicki approved and everything. So that's a good feeling. I like doing Mariah Carey. That's fun with the holidays. So, but original characters are really what I'm getting into. That's really cool to become somebody else and watch people on the street and say, oh, maybe I want to take that person's walk, that person's talk.
That's what they're there for.
Super observant. I mean, the airport is a great place.
Yeah.
People watch. So, yeah.
So when you're creating, that's how you're getting your idea. You're like, I'm watching everything.
A little bit. It's a combination. So something will just come to me randomly. I'll be in the shower and I'm like, that's it. And then that comes for you too. I'm sure a joke just comes to you because, and then the other way is fabricating it, actually working on it. And the other way is a combination. Like, I just spoke to this person on the phone on customer service. That was really funny how she sounded. Yeah.
So when I'm thinking of, well, first of all, a lot of people don't even know that you've been doing stand-up. It's not like, oh yeah, I do sketches or it's like you've been doing stand-up. What got you into stand-up?
That's a good question. I mean, I always knew I wanted to do stand-up.
Yeah.
It took years as a teen to be like, I'm getting on stage. It was kind of like an idea because I grew up in Minnesota. Not that there's anything wrong with Minnesota. There's a really good stand-up scene there, but it was just sort of, I always knew I wanted to be an actor, always. But the stand-up was like, am I really going to do this? And then like 17, 18, I started like drafting jokes in a Word document. It was like blue and purple and pink font, Arial 12 bold. I want to do comedy with stars. So yeah, and then I just kind of slowly evolved and that,
That's amazing. Yeah. For me, it was the stand-up side. I had always wanted to do stand-up from watching Martin Lawrence as a kid.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to get there because in Detroit, it wasn't like, I'm 33. So the internet was available to us, but we didn't have just a simple Google to where you know what to type in and find something.
Right.
And if you do have that search, you can't just find comedy clubs that are telling you everything you need to do to perform. Yeah. It was like, I want to perform. We're going to perform. And it was like, B's Comedy Kitchen. And I call and nobody picked up the phone. And it wasn't until I started doing stand-up professionally that I found out that B's had closed 4 years prior.
Oh, wow.
And the phone was still plugged in.
So you're just calling.
I'm just calling.
Who's paying that phone bill?
That's what I want to know. I'm like, it's still on all the
That's
time.
Spectrum getting an extra $40. So when you started stand up, what was your writing process like? Those first few open mics.
Oh, so here's the thing. When I started, I had nothing but ideas of everything that I'd ever said that had made somebody laugh.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I thought of every story that I had told people that they had laughed at before. I had thought of everything I'd ever told a girl to make her laugh, and I just wrote all that stuff down. And when I got on stage, I forgot all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got nothing but...
So improv on stage a lot.
Absolutely.
That's impressive.
I wish I could have remembered.
That's impressive, though, to forget it, but then still make it work.
Oh, I got to succeed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously. Yeah, you're really, I mean, I've seen you do stand-up. You killed it. You have so much energy on stage.
Thank you. You know what I enjoy about watching you perform? Your delivery, it goes right back to when we were doing that video. And you're like, okay, like you're seeing so many different angles. You're like, this is going to work because there's no other option.
Yeah.
And that's the tool you need to succeed.
Right. Because the crowds are always going to be different.
Yeah.
And you never want to be that comic that blames the crowd.
Never.
Ever. But there are times when you got to really work. There are times when you're not like, oh my God, I killed it. But that's the game. It's like golf.
Yeah.
It's like golf. So
yes. Right now, you are in a rarefied air to where everybody knows your name. You're getting a chance to go to the parties, the award shows. Who have you met that has been like, I can't believe I'm hanging with this person?
Well, I didn't hang with them, but I briefly met Mariah Carey.
What?
And so I wouldn't say hang out, but that was like, wow, I grew up listening to her songs. And as much as I lightly roast her, she had such a big part of my childhood. So we shook hands, she complimented my outfit, and I'm like, wow, like this is just the beginning.
This is Mariah Carey.
Yeah, so hopefully the next thing is her and I doing a sketch together.
Absolutely.
Let's speak it into existence, 2020.
Have to. That's the only way it comes.
Yeah, and I, whenever I do impressions, I make sure, when I make it really big, I don't want any enemies. So I look,
Smart.
I don't have any hate in my material. That's up to the person if they want to be super sensitive. If you did an impression of me tomorrow, I'd be like, yeah, I do that.
I do that.
I do that. Yeah.
Good pickup right there. That was good.
Right.
Jamie Foxx, good friend of yours.
Who's that?
See the...
Who?
I'm not familiar with this person.
Is that influencer?
I think he's done a couple videos.
Okay.
I think he's trying to build his way up. I see a picture. The last picture that I saw that I was like, private
He gave me
jet.
daps. He gave me daps.
Yeah. I was like, I'm happy for you. Like,
Aw,
private
I'm happy for
jet.
you. You're flying private. Well, it was nice. It's nice to pull up to the plane and not 2 hours early.
Come on.
That was the nicest part.
Come on.
No, I mean, I just needed a ride to New York. I just needed a ride.
That is hilarious. I think that anytime, like I saw, because I seen like 2 jet pictures back to back, or I should say private plane.
Mm-hmm.
That one with you, and then Duval's plane. And I'm like, yo, I think the move is getting the plane.
Yeah, I wish I could say I owned it, but it's you know what? It's so motivational to be around. I'm sure you just everything they say is gold, and then you say I want to be doing what they're doing in the very near future, and it's just that's surrounding yourself with those people and
learning, like I brought up Fox because
and being new, it's okay to be, even though we've been doing this, it's okay to be new. It's okay to not know. It's okay to ask questions and not have an ego. And I'm never afraid to ask and be like, how'd you do this? How can I do this? How can I help you? But how'd you do this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason I brought up Fox was because I actually got my radio start on his station, Foxhole Radio, Tangerine and myself. That's how we actually met. Foxhole Radio, Speedy's Comedy Corner, but it wasn't the first time I met Fox. It was like he's been one of my idols since I was a kid. And when I first got the chance to meet him, all I did was ask him a million questions. And his response, of course, the first couple was like, oh, well, yeah, man, it's blah, blah, blah. And then it's like the 5th question, it was like,
no, man, come on. You gonna do it?
Hey, yeah, man, you just got to go get it. And then I was like, oh, okay, let me no longer ask. So, but it's one of those things where, because it was a comedy festival, I don't know if you've ever done any one of those comedy festivals that like changes your life. For me, it was Laugh-A-Palooza down in Atlanta, which was Jamie's Laugh-A-Palooza. I met every comedian that I still have a relationship with to this day.
Wow.
Down at that festival.
That's life-changing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've always encouraged other comedians to go do festivals just because you meet comedians that
Yeah.
you're going to have a relationship with for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Have you
We're
been
in
to
this.
anything that you've been like, yo, this is where I got to be to continue to form the relationships?
Well, I would say festivals are amazing.
Yeah.
When I go to the Comedy Cellar in New York to watch the vets, the
Royalty.
greats, the doctors, the PhDs of comedy,
Yeah.
that's when I make some really good, meaningful connections there. And I'm like, hey, guys, I want to be performing in
Yeah.
here in this many months. And just watching them and taking it
Yeah.
in and talking to them and seeing them go right after their set with their notebooks. I love that. So, New York is the playground for stand-up. It's
Yeah.
great out here. It's great
It's
out
the
here.
Mecca
It's
for
it's
stand-up.
like you just go bounce, you
Yeah.
take a slide, you go to this one. So, the Cellar, I
Yeah.
hope to be performing there soon.
Oh,
and-
let me tell you something. That Comedy Cellar, once you get that okay and that
Yeah,
yes,
that check mark.
Ooh,
Yep.
You feel like you've been accepted.
Yeah.
And that
Well, you're a vet kind of at that point.
Oh man.
And the interesting thing about stand-up, which it's a great thing, it's just like any other career.
Yeah.
It's not about years, and it's okay if it takes somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody has their
Don't focus on
time,
the
and
years. Yeah.
and then there's the comedian talk of like, how did that person get their special? It's like you got like comedians are like musicians. You're gonna have fans that love your type of comedy. You're gonna have fans that love country music. You're
Yep.
gonna have fans that love rap music. It's the same thing. So it's just we gotta all support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say you want? Well, first of all, if I even say what that is, top 5 right now comedians that are your favorite.
That I don't want to fuck. Oh,
Oh, that's hilarious.
the
you
top
do your
5
thing.
comedians. That's hilarious. Let's see. Amy Schumer's a big inspiration of mine.
Okay.
We went to the same acting school, and just seeing her journey has been cool.
Yeah.
Jessica Kierzan. Do you know her?
No, I'm not familiar.
She does voices and characters in her set, and love her. Russell Peters.
Of course.
The voices, the accents.
And such a nice guy.
Michael Blackson. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen some of our skits, but he makes my intestines hurt in
Very funny.
a laugh way. Wow. I'm gonna
Natalie.
get up now. Number 5. Who's gonna get that number 5 spot? This was in no particular order. Chappelle.
Solid.
That's a
Solid.
tough one because they're all so great.
Yeah, because I always do. I'm like, you can give me your top 5 famous, and then you give me your top 5 people that haven't broken through.
Right,
You know what
the
I mean?
come up.
I love talking stand up because it's very subjective.
Yeah.
You're like, I like this, but they like that, but neither of you are wrong. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right. I love Russell Peters because
incredible.
I do a lot of accents too, but it's been tricky if I'm allowed to do all the accents that I can do because Russell can do it, but sometimes I'm like, am I allowed to do this accent? I'm just doing an accent. So I'll often question it and I'll feel out the audience and, I do all these different accents and then I get to a certain accent and I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this one. And then I kind of feel out the crowd because I'm just playing with my voice and not making fun of a culture, but it's
You can also
2019.
say that on stage.
That's what I say. I'm
Hey.
like, I know it's 2019 and I'm a white girl about to do this
Can
accent.
I do this? And then you do it. And they're
Yeah.
like, it's all about how you do it.
Exactly. So contextualizing it
Yeah.
and
5 years from now, where do you
I
see
was going to
Natalie?
ask you that question.
Yeah, what do you see?
We got some good movies, my own TV show, owning a beautiful house, taking care of my whole family. That's all the goals. It's funny you were talking to Deshay about music, so I got some music in my pocket. It'll be released 2020, and I've been working on it for a few years. So it's not like, you know what? There's, when people are saying like, I just started working, or she just started doing that when she had a following. So what? If a product is good, a product is good.
product is good.
If a product, so since I was a kid, I don't know if you've seen throwback pictures. I was on dance team since I was a kid.
I did not know that.
So I was doing hip hop, jazz, ballet, tap, and ever since I was like 10, I would do parody raps like for my dance team, and I would write parody raps. So I always was like messing with it. Again, the idea of it. How can I in Minnesota be actually a rapper? So it evolved, and then there's some stuff in my pocket.
I'm actually excited to hear this stuff.
Thank
That's
you.
dope.
I'll definitely, you'll know when it's out.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Just like you said, it's not because you started doing something or when you started doing something. If it's good, it's good.
If it's good, it's good. And it's because, and sometimes you wait until the audience is big enough. What's your 5-year?
5 years from now, I'm doing everything that I'm doing right now on steroids. So that's the podcast. That is my personal content. That is the films. That's the television show. And then producing more films for not only myself, but my team around me and people that I'm like, yo, I don't see this person getting an opportunity the traditional way. Let me make this happen for them.
That's awesome.
Of course, just even more money, which
of
is,
course,
healthier, all of that good
times
stuff.
Times 5 of it.
Yeah.
How good would it be to just, employ all your friends and the people,
You're talking about fun?
Yeah.
Because now when I'm shooting my content, it's with the friends. So I'm having a great time on set. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
And then I'm editing and I'm laughing again because everything that happened that I didn't see that I'm now seeing. And you don't get that feeling when you're forced to work with you like, I gotta do this. But it's like your friends, the best.
The best,
the best, yo. Worst date ever.
Ooh. Worst date ever. Wow.
Worst date ever.
I'll say that I was on this dating app and this guy had these pictures up and then he asked to meet up and I was like, hey, I like to FaceTime first to feel the vibe. I'm not gonna waste my time and go. And then we FaceTimed and he totally was using different pictures. And so I'd say it was pretty awkward FaceTime. And I was like, I'm on 5%. I should charge my phone. So I got catfished on FaceTime. So that's why I recommend FaceTime first.
That FaceTime is good.
But I don't have any crazy stories. I've been lucky.
Are you even able to, like, I always see you in and out of town. You always working. You always doing something. Do you even have time?
It's funny you say that. I mean, I think there'll be pictures that are posted and people will be like, you're all over the place. And I'm like, I've been in LA for 3 weeks. Do you want me to go live every day and check in?
You gotta check. Hey guys,
I gotta just put. I'm in LA. Hopefully, I'm not cock blocking myself. I would have time for the right person. Look, the right person will push you and make you get more done and not impede on anything. Yeah. So I believe you can have it all. I don't believe in the statement, I don't have time. We all have time.
We all have time.
We all have
time for what you want to make time
exactly.
for. That's a good point. What is coming up next? How can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Natalie Friedman. There's some stuff in the works, like the music, like I said. Let's say February, March. So that'll be exciting. And then stand-up shows. My next shows are in Texas. So when they're in LA, you guys will see it on my Instagram. So. Nice. And where's your next show?
Oh, well, they already know,
but I want to know so I can pull up.
My next show is going to be at the Laugh Factory on the 27th.
27th of December. I'll be in New York. You guys, if I was going like this, I just realized I was going like this. I'm just going to say, I noticed. If you're commenting about my little claws.
They
like
be
this,
on everything.
Yeah, I probably was sitting like this the whole time. So
Natalie,
I know.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. You guys are amazing.
Kicking it with Clayton, Natalie Friedman.